Hello there, you super amazing and wonderful creatures of the beyond and amazing internet. Um, Today I was doing some testing around and I was trying to do some deformation things in Inkscape and so on and so forth. And I realized I did something interesting and I played a bit and I created this little thing. Obviously, it's not the best result in the world and the colors are not the most amazing, but I turned this into this. And we'll go in a bit over how things look here. But before I do that, let me see. I want to show you guys the updated version of the ballerina that I've been working on so hard. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here it is. So in case you didn't catch it, on. Just a second to make sure that this isn't making some weird effects. And off. Now, it's not perfect, obviously. The shading is very difficult to get. The mouth and the nose was difficult. Let me disable the underlayer of the image. So yeah, I still have to do the ear and a few more details here and there, and then I'll add it to the rest. But I think it's starting to look realistic. I don't know. I like it. I like it. We are getting there. Only for the face, obviously. Uh, yeah, there are clearly some things that are darker and so on, but with all the contrast and everything, there is bound to be some error, but still, I'm happy with the result so far. Close it up, saving. Now, since I've used this image, let me try to duplicate this, see what happens. Well, obviously, this happens. The shapes change, but I'll show you in a moment. There is a way to cancel that, but mm, I don't remember it. I think you need to scale it a bit and then they won't act, they won't change the shape so much. But that's besides the point. So how did I do this? Well, pretty easy, pretty easy. First of all, we have two paths here. If we disable them both, we are left with this. Now you might think to yourself, this was easy. I just used um, mask or clipping or something. Actually, I use both. So if we go on this, so now, as I said, we have hidden these two paths. And now in here we have this. If I go and say release mask, this is just a simple circle with um, that I blurred. I blurred to, I don't know, 30%. Anyway, so this is this. Then I went over here and I used our neat little trick, but I used actually two clipping masks. So the first release clip is actually a circle to get to the circular motion. And then inside here, so if we disable this circle, we see there is another clip. So if I release this clip, we see that this shape encompasses this image, which I used dual tone and some other things to go from the original image, which is this interesting hue from dark to orange and so on. Well, I inverted it a little. I used grayscale, I think, and then I selected the dual tone. But it was just for testing purposes. I was not expecting anything wow. And for Oh, come on. Ah, whatever. So for our circles here, what I actually did, it's gonna look a little bit messy, but bear with me, you bears. So filter editor. You see that I have added the watercolor filter. And then I have increased the standard deviation here to something that looks better. So if I'm gonna take another circle like so, obviously it's not the same color, but now if I go here into filter, texture, watercolor, bam, this is what we get. Let me get this out of the way. And obviously this is pretty smudgy, but if you go into the filter editor, and now we play here with this, we get really nice results. And we can still play with the size if we want. And if we really think, I'm not sure what this does exactly. I mean, I know what it does, but I'm not sure how it affects. Ah, interesting. Interesting. And now, if you want to impose on it a little bit harder, you can just turn it like so. And then make it a bit smaller. And I think this makes it not to change its shape anymore when you resize it. Because if you see, if I move it here, it does this. But if I resize it just a tiny bit, and if I move it, it doesn't change. I'm not sure exactly what's the reason behind that. But it's a really cool, neat little trick if you want to do some interesting designs. And it looks very organic, and it's not all that complicated. And of course, for the image, obviously, I went a bit. I should have used maybe some overlays and try to color them to get an interesting result, but I was too lazy for that, so I worked destructively. But now the cool thing here is that we can play with the colors and make some interesting combos. So for example, let's say this, and I'm gonna use an orange. Can make some interesting nebulas, I believe. And the blur is automatically added because of the filter. But you can play and create lightnings. You can even go with the opacity, how much you want things to be inside. So there's a lot of fluidity to this. Filters, sorry, are extraordinarily amazing. Extensions have some cool things as well. Sometimes I get confused between filters and extensions, especially for the color management of the images, because you have to use these colors for the JPEG or whatever images you have to use. Unlike here, which affects the path, the vector path, which is kind of But anyway, so yeah, play with them. I really think that these are amazing. I shall continue with my ballerina slowly, 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 and hopefully we can create some interesting and amazing things in the future. And I'm gonna keep this. I really like it. I like it's like spontaneous, a moment of spontaneous inspiration. Ah, there we go. It changes. Although this is a cool idea because, like, if you want to permutate and see how many changes you can get and get something more, rather than something static, you get something more dynamic. You can leave it as it is. Well, enough of me for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. crazy little experiment of mine. And I'll see you all next time. Bye 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 bye.